Okay. Right, so first things first, if everyone just wants to come to their end of the mat standing up, I just want to do just a teeny tiny little mindfulness move just to ensure that everyone's a little bit relaxed and in the moment, because we've probably all had manic days through various work-based or children-based things, or both. So if we can just take a moment just to relax a little bit, and then we'll just bring ourselves into the conscious of the room rather than everything else that's going on around in your life at the moment. So I want you to stand nice and what you view is straight, okay? Shoulders back, and we're going to start down the bottom, and I just want to just ensure that your posture is nice and strong. So if you want to just give your feet a little wriggle and then spread them out and just make sure they're really nice and solidly on the floor. And then we're going to bring our consciousness up to our knees and just give them a little wriggle. Now, with correct posture, I don't really want you to fully lock them. So just unlock your legs, just unlock. And then we're going to bring ourselves up to our hips. Now, with your pelvis, I'm quite lordotic, so my back does that. Oh, Vanessa's coming here. Sorry, guys, just 1 second, Vanessa. Hopefully she'll come in a second. Sorry, guys. Vanessa, sweetheart, we've already started, so just crack on. You're already on to mute, okay? If you need to unmute yourself for any particular reason, to let me know something. And hey, Fiona, please do so. Apart from that, good evening. So we're just standing up, so it's the end of your mat, and we're just trying to concentrate on our posture at the moment. So we've just grounded our feet, we've moved up. I'm just about to do your pelvic alignment. So if you do feel that you're standing a little bit like this, what I want you to do is tilt your pelvis under. So just engage your core very slightly. So when you touch it, it should feel engaged rather than completely relaxed. There's a little tilt underneath your pelvis, so you should feel nice and solid all the way up. So we're going to bring ourselves all the way up to our shoulders. They should not be round by your ears, okay? So just round them and circle them down and let them sink right down. And then with your head, you're not sort of pointing it down or looking right up. So you're literally looking straight ahead of you, and just really relax your arms, make them feel nice and heavy. So this position, you should feel comfortable but solid, okay? I want you to feel like if someone's trying to sort of push you over, that you wouldn't move because you're solid. Closing your eyes. And then if you just want to take, let's do 5 deep breaths, okay? So in through your nose for at least 3 to 4 counts, and then out through your mouth. Okay, breathing in and breathe out. Breathing in, expanding your diaphragm, and out. And again, breathe in and relax. Okay, doing 2 more. And last one, breathe in nice and deep and relax. Wonderful. Okay, so you should feel a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more in the moment. So what I'd like to do is we're just going to do a little bit of a top to toe relax and stretch out before we start doing anything particularly strenuous. You stay where you are. I'm going to come down so you can actually see the top half. So we're still in our same position. I want you to keep your head pointing forward, and then we're going to bring it to the side. Really feel that stretch around your neck, and then back again, and to the other side. Now, if you have been doing this, and you have been at a desk today, and your neck is feeling a bit stiff, this will really help. So bring it back to center, and then to the side, and back to center again. Right, let's try the other plane. So I'm going to turn so you can see. You're going to bring your head down, so you're looking down towards your chest. And when you're doing this, I want you to hold it here. Really push your shoulders down. Holding it here, breathing. And bring your head up. So we're just going to exaggerate that very, very slightly. So bring your head down, and then we're going to take your hand and just very gently bring your head a little further. So you should feel a little bit more of a stretch. It's certainly not a yank. And bring it back up. And then the last time, the other hand and bring it down. Really relax that shoulder. That's it. And bring your head back up. So we're going to go the other plane now. So hand over the top of your head, and then we're going to bring it down. And we're trying to create a little gap between your shoulder and your ear. So nice and gentle. It's a suggestion of it down rather than a yanking of it down. Just let go and your head will spring up. And then exactly the same the other side. So hand over and bring your head over to one side. Really, the arm that's spare should feel really heavy. And let go of your head and relax. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to roll our shoulders. So moving away from our head now to our shoulders. Now when you're rolling, I want you to really think right down my back, moving forwards, right down the back. And the other way, little bit tougher. So all the way up and rest down, all the way up and rest it down. And one more roll. Good, wonderful. So putting our hands onto our shoulders, little chicken wings. And we're going to do big circles all the way around. Now what can happen here, regardless of whether you're in the position I am or standing up fully, you can slightly body wave. So try to keep your core nice and tight when we're doing this and you're not rolling your body. And the other way, up and down, up and around, big circles. And one more big circle. Good, wonderful, dropping your hands. Bring your arm across. This can be a little bit tricky on the brain as to how you do this. So one arm across, take hold, and then drop that shoulder. Quite a strong shoulder stretch, this one. And bring it down. We're going to keep this a little bit more dynamic. So bring it across to the other side, drop your shoulder. And the other side again. So swinging it across. And one more time across and hold on. Wonderful. Okay. Let's give your arms a little shake. Hands together. If you have been typing today, this might click a little bit. So we're rolling and rolling the other way. Get those clicks out. Click, 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 click. And shake your hands out. Good. Right, hands down to your side. And then we're just going to really try to relax your shoulders before we move further down. So I want you to lift up. Take a deep breath in and blow out. Quite cathartic, this one. All the way up. Right by your ears and blow out. Good. One more. All the way up. And relax. Lovely. Well done. Okay, so let's move our concentration down to the trunk area now. I'm actually going to be able to stand up now. So still keeping your position hip width apart. We're going to bring one hand over your body and then one hand wrapped behind your body. And you're just going to tuck it in around your glutes. I want you to keep your hips forwards and then twist. So if you can't fully see what I'm doing there, we're doing a twist. Looking right over your shoulder. Trying really hard to keep those hips facing forwards. Now, if you have been sat down a lot today, that should feel lovely. And unravel, bring yourself to the center again. One arm across, one arm loops behind and twist. Holding it here, deep breath. and bring it back to center. Wonderful. We will concentrate and do something else on that in a little while as well. So with our legs, let's get a little bit of movement going on. So first things first, I just want you to bring your weight onto one leg. Doesn't matter which one because we're doing both sides. Now, if you can, we're going to get a little bit of balance going on here. So let's see how everyone's balance is this evening. Bring your leg up. So arms can stay by the side, can come onto your hips, or can come out to the side, okay, wherever you need them to be to actually balance. Very nice. Swing it through and then bring it just off the floor at the back. So I want you to keep your tummy pulled in, chest nice and high, and just your toe off the floor at the back. You should feel a little bit of work having to do right at your lower back there. Bring yourself back down, give yourself a little shake. Then we're going to transfer our weight onto the other leg. Upright, think of your posture, lift it up. I want you to think ballerina, Steve in particular. That's it, hold it up. So it doesn't need to be further than 90 degrees maximum. Feel your quad having to do a little bit of work here for your core stabilizing yourself. And bring it down, sweep it, and bring it back, toes just off the floor, okay, really not very far. You should feel your lower back and your glutes having to do some work and your core keeping you stable. And bring yourself back to standing good, give your legs a little shake. Right. Okay, so we're going to actually warm up your inner thighs as well. So we're going to do a little bit of work there, and let's see what your back's doing as well. So if you can, bring your legs fairly wide, not super wide, but just fairly wide. And the first thing we're going to do is bringing your arm up, and then we're going to slide yourself over. So we're sliding that hand down, and just bring yourself over. Good. And bring yourself up and bring that arm down. And the other side, all the way up. Slide this hand down your leg. Now your legs should be straight, but not completely locked out. If you are double jointed as well, I really don't want those legs locked out. And bring yourself back up. So let's try the other side again and see if we can go even a millimeter further. Now to keep yourself upright, I want you to squeeze your glutes slightly because you can fall forward on this one. So try and keep upright. Squeeze those glutes very slightly. And this should be a super lovely stretch along your sides, all the way around your ribs, oblique muscles, up to your shoulder. Good. Okay, bringing yourself down. Wonderful. Right, let's see what that spine's going to do the other way now. So I'm just going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. So arms all the way up, nice and tall. Deep breath in. And bring your arms down, chin to chest, and we're going to roll it down. So hands forward, roll it down. Your back is curved. And if you're able to, we're meeting the floor. Please apologize for my dog. He just joins in every single time. Head down. Now, if you can touch the floor, if your hands are on the floor, then that's the best place to be. If they're not on the floor, we can just float and try and aim for the floor. Either way, just bring your head down, nice and heavy. Okay, now we're going to just stretch out one side of the back of your legs more. So we're going to come to the side. If you can touch your toes and drop your head, then that's what we're doing. If you can't, you're up onto your shin and drop your head, okay? Either or, as long as you're getting stretch right down the back of the leg that you're facing right now. Holding it here. And then swinging semicircle round. And bring yourself over to the other side, drop your head. Deep breaths. And bring yourself back to center. Right, so a little bit of work for the back of your legs, and it's a stretch, but they do have to do some work as well. If your hamstrings are particularly tight here, because you've been sat a lot of the day or from running or anything like that, this should be really nice. So we're going to point our hands forwards and drop your head. So your back should be a bit straight now. Try and straighten your back.
Holding it here, deep breath in and relax. Okay, hands into the center, drop your head. Deep breath in and breathe out. And you've guessed it, to the back. So as through as you can, just as through as you can. If you can't, you can't. We'll work on it. Deep breath and relax. Okay, come back to center. Deep breath and relax. And to the front, try and straighten your back. Deep breath in and relax. Excellent. Hands back to the center again. Right, you'll be very, very glad to hear that we're going to be rolling up now. But what I'd like you to do is bend your knees very slightly. Just unlock them and then we're rolling up. Because if you don't, that is quite strong. Roll, curl all the way up. Straighten your legs, arms up. Deep breath in and relax your arms down. Wonderful. Good. Right, so legs, certainly the back of your legs should feel stretched. And the front of your legs has done a little bit of work. The insides of your legs have done a little bit of work. Your core should be engaged. Your shoulders should be relaxed. And your neck should be stretched out. So we should feel prepped a little bit more to do some hard work now. So if you come back towards the edge of your mat, we're going to bring our arms up. We're going to roll down. Deep breath in. And arms down. Chin to chest. Roll it down. Nice and low, head nice and heavy. And then we're going to walk our hands forward to our first move, downward dog. So hands out, head in between your arms, and then push your heels back. If you haven't done this for a little while, Joe, just don't push yourself, go easy on yourself, okay? Deep breath in and come up slightly onto your toes, and then push back. If you feel like something's about to cramp, just bring yourself down onto your knees. Breathe in and push back. You should feel this all the way down the back of your legs and all the way down your back, shoulders. Really excellent stretch this one, and all the way back. Hold it here, nice and strong. A couple more deep breaths. Good. Bring yourself up onto your toes, and then we're bending our knees, and we're going to come down into all fours, nice and controlled. Okay, let's see how the core and the shoulders are feeling this evening. So what I'd like you to do is tuck your toes under, and then we're going to come up your knees just off the floor. So we're going to hover them off the floor. So tuck your tummy in and lift and hover your knees off the floor. Now your shoulders and your quads have got to do some work here. Hold it and your core. Breathe in and relax down, nice and slowly. Try not to thud onto the floor. Deep breath in. And on the out breath, we're lifting in. So engage everything and lift. Just off the floor, just even an inch or so. Holding it here. You might wobble a little bit. Don't worry about that, just as long as you're breathing. Breathe in. And on the out breath, relax down nice and slowly. Excellent. That should have woken everything up. Let's do it one more time. Breathe in. And on the out breath, engage and lift. Holding it here. Very good, everyone. Very good. Just hover. And bring your knees down and relax your toes. Brilliant. Okay, so when we've done a move like that, the easiest way to relax out of it, if you bring your knees and your feet together, we'll do this a couple of times. Bring your feet up and we're going to do a little puppy dog wag. So your hips are going one way, feet are going the other way. We're just going to wriggle out of that. Okay, come back to center and bring your knees back out, and we're back onto all fours again. So let's see what your back's going to do today. So I want you to put your toes together and bring your knees slightly further out, so you're just slightly more straddled. Bring yourself down, and we're going to come into a child's pose. So
Nice and low, hands towards the front of the mat as much as they can. Really stretch out your arms. Put your head down. You should really feel a stretch in your shoulders. Can you smooth? Holding it here for a second, not for very long though. And then we're going to bring ourselves forwards, and your hands should come forwards, and you're going to drop your hips. So this is a full cobra. If this is far too difficult, keep up, okay? Just don't drop your hips so much. This is quite strong on your back. If you are in this position, I want your shoulders up and backwards. Okay, bring yourself back, push back, and you're coming back into that position again. Touch your nose onto the floor, bring yourself up and drop into that position, into your full cobra. It's quite a wide legged cobra, this one. And push back again, bring your toes together, come back, touch your nose and push forwards and relax. Very good. Okay, bring yourself onto all fours. Now, let's work those shoulders a little bit harder now. So what I'd like you to do is bring your hands forward again and come back into this position. So you are bringing your hips forwards, but they're not dropping yet. So we're in effect going to do a little press up now. So rely on your arms to work. If they're just not going to hold you, then bring yourself back a little bit, okay? The further forward your hips are, and if they're fully forward, they're going to rely on your shoulders a lot more. If you can, keep your elbows tucked in, and we're going to bring ourselves down. We're going to lower ourselves in yoga. This is a chaturanga, all the way down to the floor. Breathe in, breathe out, and lift. Back onto your knees. That's it. So hips forwards. Lower ourselves, breathe in, and on the out breath, lowering ourselves down nice and slowly. Try to hover off the floor for a second before you relax. Breathe in and push. Now with this, super easy, I will demonstrate, super easy for everything to start arching. So your body will compensate and try and arch. Try really hard for it not to arch. That's when your shoulders and your arms are doing the most work. So let's try that again. Not so easy, this one. Breathe in and elbows backwards, control it down. Breathe in and push up. Good. Right, let's do one more for fun. Fun, she says. Hips forwards, breathe in and breathe out. Bring it down nice and slowly. Breathe in and breathe out and lift. Lift as one. Excellent. Very good if you manage that. Excellent. Right. To relieve yourself out of that one, just come into a child's pose again and just relax. Good. And if your wrists are feeling a little bit tight on that one, just give them a little shake because they did have to do some work, okay? Very good. Right. Shoulders most definitely should have warmed up now. Let's just fatigue them a little bit more because we've got bands. Oh, yes. We can make it a lot worse. Now, Joe, even if you don't have a band, this isn't that easy. So if everyone can actually just sit themselves onto the floor, cross-legged, legs in front of you, however, sitting on your legs, however is more comfortable for you. Just making sure that you are nice and upright, okay? So we're not slouching. Nice and upright, the back nice and straight. With your band, if you have one, then we're going to loop your wrists into the band, okay? Now, if you don't have one, please just follow along because it's hard enough without it anyway. We'll fatigue you, don't you worry about that. So, bringing your arms straight and in front of you, we're going to do a little tiny squeeze. Steve, you can see how your bands react to this one. Little tiny squeeze and release, tiny squeeze and release. So if you're following along without the band, you're doing exactly the same thing. So a little squeeze and release. That's it. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Now what that should have done, because of what we just did, it really should wake up your shoulders, and they should feel a little bit tight in the fact that you've actually done some work on them. Let's go up 1. So we're here. Okay, so they're right in front of you. This is a little bit harder. So let's pulse here. Good. Just keep some consistency. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Don't need to go mental. You just need to keep it consistent. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Beautiful. Right. I think we all know where we're going now. So we're going to come above your head. Much, much harder, this one, okay? So if it is far too hard, just bring it back down again. I kind of struggle with this one because of my shoulder, but I'm just doing little tiny movements, okay? Just be super careful because this is the strongest one on your shoulders. And as I said, you can always bring it down if you need to. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful, all the way down. Just give your arms a little, shoulders a little wriggle, arms a little shake. Right, let's make that a teeny tiny bit harder. So we're going to do all 3 in a row now. And I want you to go a tiny bit faster, so the pulsing. So we're pulsing here, pulse, pulse. So bringing your arms out straight and low. Okay, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up to the middle and 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up the top. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Lactic acid should be just building, okay? Even if you haven't got it on, doing this is quite tough, especially above your head. Right, let's do that one more time. So are we ready? Reset. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Middle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hope that's adding up. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good stuff. Oh my goodness. Right, get yourself out of that for a second. Just give your shoulders a little wriggle. Very nice. Good stuff if you managed to do that. Right, whilst we are sat here, let's just make sure we have everything stretched out in this department. So bringing your arm up, hand to the side, and then we're going to bring your arm all the way over. And then bring your arm up. Now just ensure, when you're crossing over, just ensure that your bum cheeks are both staying on the floor with this, okay? We're not lifting, you're stretching to the side. And back up. Right, now we're going to add in a little sweep. So bring your arm up and over, and then we're sweeping it forward. So you're hinging forward, sweep, swap your arms, and then you should end up in the other position. Beautiful. Let's do that again. So all the way forwards, swap arms, really reach forwards. You should feel that in your hip flexors, your hips when you move, and to the side. And again, forwards, reach forwards, feel that in your hips, and to the side. And let's come back one more. Very elegant, everyone, very elegant, all the way down. And to the side, wonderful, bring yourself up. Okay, fully stretching your hips. Bring your hands forward. If you're in this position, I'd like you to just make sure that your legs aren't tucked under. So you can't actually move your legs. So if you actually put one foot in and then one foot next to it as opposed to underneath your leg, that will actually give you more ability to bring your knees down. So hands in front of you once you've sorted that. And then we're going to walk them forwards. Now you should feel, even if you can get to here, you should feel hips right here, opening right up. One may be a little stiffer than the other. It's usually your lead leg that's less stiff, but just go with what your body's doing today. Walk your hands forwards Try and keep your bum cheek on the floor. If you can bring your head all the way down, please do. If we are nowhere near there, don't worry at all. As long as you're feeling that stretch in your hips, I want you to breathe when you're in that position as low as you can. You're breathing in that position. Bring your head down wherever you are. That's it. One more deep breath where you are. And then we're slowly, slowly, slowly walking yourself back up. That's it. Fantastic. Good. Just bring your hands backwards and straighten your legs out. I'm just going to come to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so first things first, to get a good old stretch and flex on here is get your bum cheeks out of the way. So literally just lift your bum, bit of an odd one I know, lift your bum cheeks out the way and you should feel sit bones right on the floor. Really straighten your back so you are creating a 90-degree angle and your arms are out to the side. Take a deep breath in and lift up. Flex your toes and then we're hinging forward. So it's not a bend, it's a hinge. Hinge at the hips. If you can take hold of your toes, fantastic. If you're not quite there, then we're onto the shins, no problem. Wherever you are, then drop your head. Now, not only should you feel that quite strongly down the back of your legs, you should feel that right around your shoulders as well. Okay, releasing your hands and all the way up and relax it down. Wonderful. Right, give your legs a little jig. Let's grab those bandaroos again. So a lighter, medium, whatever you have. I'm going to go for the slightly heavier one, just because I probably should. If you can bring yourself a little bit further down your mat, so you've got enough space to actually come behind, then I want you to place the band around your legs, and we're just going to place it just above your knees. Okay, so if you can see there, just above the knees. So before we start doing anything particularly extravagant, if you can just put your hands behind you and bring your feet onto the floor, and then we're just going to stretch that band now. Steve in particular, you're going to know how heavy this band is now. Joe, if you don't have the band, you're still just doing this movement and it should be quite nice for your inner thighs. So keep that back straight and just really squeeze and release. One more squeeze and release. Right. Hands in front of you, and then we're going to roll. So curl your back and slowly roll all the way down. Arms back behind you, big stretch. And release, push your back to the floor, and then you're bringing your arms down beside you. So you are back on the floor, feet on the floor, so just bring your feet much nearer to you. Now, some of us haven't had bands on for a very, very long time, so we'll just get used to it. What I'd like you to do is tilt your pelvis. I'll be frequently asking you to tilt your pelvis, just making sure that your back's protected behind you. And then we're going to have our knees and feet hip width apart, which is actually less than you think it is. Everyone thinks the hips are a lot wider than they are. And then you're going to bring, with the band, you're going to bring those knees out. And this does do something even if you don't have a band on, and then bring them back. So what I want you to think is 1, 2, hold 2, back 2. Okay? 1, 2, squeeze out 2, back 2. If you don't have a band on, you should be able to go a lot further. Out, hold it. If you're resisting against that band, really squeeze it and back in. Depending on the resistance of the band is how far out you can go. Squeeze and back. Keep that pelvis tilted. And again, out, squeeze and back in. Good. One more. Out. Squeeze it out. Really, really squeeze. Oh. And back out. Right. Now, where you should feel that is your glute medius, which is your basically bum cheeks to the side. You should feel that quite strongly when you're out. Right. Let's make that a tad worse. So, bring your heels
towards your bum a little bit more, okay? And then we're going to tilt that pelvis again, and I want you to just very gently get some space between your bum cheeks and the floor. So just lifting your bum cheeks, not right up into shoulders yet. Holding it here, and then we're going to do exactly the same exercise. So just bring those knees out and back in. So keep the consistency. 1, 2, squeeze 2, back 2. Just keep it flowing. Keep that bum just off the floor. Now, if you're doing this correctly, you should feel this really quickly. And actually, even without bands on, you should feel it. It's just exaggerated with the bands. Hopefully Steve isn't dying with his new band. And one more, bringing it out, squeeze, and back in, and roll it down, and unroll your pelvis. So just unlock your pelvis, that's it. Right, let's go a teeny tiny bit higher. So tilt your pelvis towards you, lift it up, so you should feel a few more vertebrae off the floor now. So if you can feel that you're just before you're going to lift your shoulder blades off the floor, so you should be mid-back, and exactly the same thing. So bring it out, squeeze, and then back in. And let's go again. Out we go, squeeze it out. Oh my God, glute medius really starting to do some work now. No bad thing. This is very good bum shaping stuff. Out and back in. And yes, the answer is yes. I do a lot of this. Back in. Those of you who know me, very much so. Back out and back in. And 2 more. Bring it out, squeeze, and back in. 1 more. Should be really burning now. Out. Oh. And back in, roll it down, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down, and relax. Now, if at any point you're like, oh my God, this really is hurting, bring yourself down. We're going to do this exercise now. Bring one leg over the other, and then you're going to bring those knees in. Now, what that does is unlock your glute muscle and your hip muscle at the top. So this is for the top leg. Just bring it right in, nice and close. You should feel that stretching it right out very quickly. Absolutely wonderful stretch this if your glutes are feeling super tight. Now, if you have got a band on and you haven't used a band on your glutes for a while, you're definitely going to feel this in the morning. Crossing your other leg, so swap over, bring those knees in, and then really stretch that out, bring it towards you. That's it, that should release the other glute. Excellent. Okay, bringing your foot down and both feet to the floor. Right, haven't quite finished yet. So bring those heels back towards your glutes again. And now we're going to come all the way back up. So I would advise, if you've got hair like myself and it's back, just move out the way because it will start to hurt your neck. So just make sure the whole of your head is flat on the mat. Hands to the side for now. I want you to tilt your pelvis and lift, and just lift, peel the vertebrae off the mat all the way up. Now, have a little prod of your glutes. They should be very, very engaged now. That's it. Keep it up there. Legs, your legs may feel like they're doing a little bit of work. They are stabilizing, but it should be more towards your glutes. That's it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now, if you want to, we're going to bring our arms up. If you're feeling balanced, up and over your head, straight up over your head. So you should be able to lift a teeny tiny bit higher now. Hold it here. Hold it here. Now, this should be a super lovely stretch. I want you to start rolling it down, but keep your arms above your head. Vertebrae by vertebrae, your shoulders should get a really lovely stretch when your arms are over your head. And super, super slow, use your glutes and your core to roll it all the way down. And once you've got to the bottom, release. Lovely. And you're bringing your arms back up and over. to your side. Okay, let's do that again. So reset, tilt your pelvis, back flat on the floor, start to lift it, lift vertebrae off, peel them off the mat, all the way up, nice and slowly and controlled, all the way up, squeeze, check your glutes, arms up and over, all the way up, that's it, really squeeze, final squeeze. Okay, now whilst we're up here, you can just stay here if you want to, this is hard enough. If not, we are bringing those knees out, you should really feel this. And back again to the same pace, 1, 2, hold 2, back 2. Now when you're doing this, I want you to feel like all your toes are on the floor, so your feet are not peeling off the floor, they're all on the floor. That will make it a teeny tiny bit harder. Your body has a very, very good way of trying to compensate. Try for it not to. Keep everything nice and tight. Out. Back in. One more. Should not be easy. Really not easy. Back in. Roll it down nice and slowly. Keep everything tight until the last minute. Roll it down. And release at the bottom. Excellent. Well done. Right, glute should feel very, very engaged now. Right, so let's finish with what that core is doing. It's done some work. It's engaged, but it hasn't been burnt yet. So just relax out. You can keep the band on if you want to. It's not going to do any harm or anything. So just keep it on just for ease. So what we're going to do is bring our hands in front of us. And then I want to lift your head. And we're going to try and engage and roll all the way back up. If you can't quite do that yet, just using your hands to bring yourself up, okay? So let's see what those roll up, roll downs are looking like. So feet and knees together and a little bit longer. And we're going to roll backwards nice and slowly. Use this as a break, nice and slowly. All the way down, rolling it down, arms back. Take a deep breath in when you're at the top. Breathe in. Breathe out, lifting our hands back up again. Lift your head, push forward, squeeze. Try not to jump it up. Okay, you're rolling it up really slowly. Use your core as a break. Nice and slowly. How slowly can you go? And I know quite a few of you can go very slowly. All the way back. Deep breath in. And relax out. Head lift. Shoulders peeled off and lift. Beautiful. Lovely. Right. No problems. Super simple. So we're going to roll back down nice and slowly. Right. Let's try this. So we're going to actually roll up and roll down in a V. So when you're coming up, we're actually going to use your oblique muscles, which are to the side, not just your ab muscles, which are to the front. I will demonstrate. So as you're coming up, you're writing a V. As you're coming down, come back to center, and then you're writing another V. So we should be doing that, okay? So hands in front of you. We're going to roll it up and to the side. Now you should feel your oblique muscles just starting to kick in. So you're creating a V, and then you're coming back down, back to the center. Point your hands to the opposite way and lift. Very nice. So I'm going to do this to the front so you can see how much. So we're to the side, bringing it down, come back to the point, lift it over to the other side and lift up. If this is far too difficult, you're just doing a normal roll up, roll down. And if that's far too difficult, just a crunch. All the way down, across, all the way back up. This should add up pretty quickly. Those cores should be feeling nice and strong all the way back up. Good. Okay, and one more back again, all the way down. And point it all the way back up. Beautiful. Okay, so a variation on that is that we're going to bring our hands down and then we're going to stay in the crunch. Okay, so bring it down and don't bring your shoulders quite onto the floor. So we're holding it here. Hold it here.
and then bring it back up. Now, if you want to intensify that, if you're like, oh, that's not too bad, I can do that. Put your hands to your temples, much harder. So, as you would do with a crunch, so you're bringing it down, hold that crunch, hold the crunch, and then, oh, lift it back up again. If you're able to do that on your temples, good on you. That's not easy. Bring it down. If you are struggling slightly, straighten your legs. Bring it down. Hold that crunch. Try not to let your shoulders come on the floor. Hold it there, and lift. Oh, that's not easy. Well done if you're managing that. And again, so remember you have the option of your hands in front of you if you want to make it easier. All the way down. Hold it. Don't let those shoulders go on the floor. Hold it, hold it. Should be shaking like a leaf and super tight. And lift. Excellent. Very, very good. Right, let's see if we can do 2 more. Regress it if you want to. Okay, regress it if you want to. All the way down. Hold it. Hold it. Keep this nice and tight. And lift. Try to keep your elbows out if you are holding onto your temples. Okay, 1 more. Oof, getting a sweat on now. Blimey. All the way down. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lift. Oh my God. Woo, very good. If you managed all of that, keeping that, very well done. Very well done. Now, to relax yourself out of this, we're going to do some supine twists, which are really quite nice. Stand, stay as it is. You can take it off, you can leave it on. It doesn't make any difference. So we're going to roll down. Now, this exercise is really lovely for stretching it out, but it also makes your obliques work pretty hard. So if you bring your hands out quite wide to the side, and then we're going to lift our legs. Okay, so keeping your knees, certainly for now, quite close to you. The idea of this is that you're going to float your legs off the floor. So they're not actually going to meet the floor. That's actually a yoga move, but we're actually going to make it a little bit tougher, turning it into a Pilates move. So keep your shoulders on the floor, and you're going to bring your both knees over to the side. Really slowly keep the shoulders on the floor and float it off the floor. Should be a lovely twist on your back. Just float it off the floor and bring it back up. If that's far too difficult, use your hands. Use your hands to assist, okay? Because your hands assisting will take the pressure off your oblique muscles. So we're going to just rotate over to the other side. Keep those shoulders on the floor. Don't let your knees touch the floor. Once they're close, and then bring it back up nice and slowly. That's it. Straight over to the other side. Back may click as long as it's not hurting. That's absolutely fine. Keep it nice and close. Float it down just off the floor and lift. Very good. 1 more to the opposite side. Bringing it over nice and slowly. Using your oblique muscles, core muscles as a brake. Hold it, and lift, 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 lift. Come back to center. Very, very good. Right. Holding it here, now there's a couple of ways of doing this. I want you just to bring your hands back down towards your sides, and then point your toes. So you've got your knees quite close to you, point your toes. We're going to bring both legs down, and if you've got the band on, this might assist slightly to keep them together. And you're going to slowly, slowly, slowly bring them this way now. So point your toes, touch your toes, just so they touch on the floor, and then back up. So there shouldn't be actually any pressure. So you're just touching the floor, bringing it right back in again. So this isn't working your obliques, this is working your lower abs, the lower 2. And for us mummies who've had children and they've all split, this is not so easy. Touch your toes and back again. Now, particularly Ursula, because this question's come up in the past, if it is far too tough, do 1 leg at a time. If your back is really starting to arch, you can either do 1 leg at a time, or you can put your hands underneath you, okay? So if it really is just starting to arch and hurt, put your hands underneath, and that makes that a lot easier. Or
you can do one leg at a time. If it's virtually impossible, you're like, I definitely cannot do that. You're going to do one leg at a time, which is a lot easier. So your choice on which you want to do. So we're going to do 3 more. So hands out to the side, hands underneath, or one leg at a time. Touch and back up. Watch that back. Top half, try really hard to totally relax. Your shoulders might be around your ears. Just trying to relax your shoulders. Shoulder blades right to the floor. And back up. So we've got 1 more to do. Bring those knees right in and then start to bring them back out. Get those muscles to do the work. Touch and back up. Super brilliant. Okay, taking hold of our knees and just give little circles, tiny little circles with your knees, which should be a nice little massage on your lower back. And the other way, little circles. Very good. Okay, using either both legs, so just hold onto the back of both legs or one leg, and you're going to just swing yourself up and bring yourself up to seated. Very good. Give yourself a second, because we have been on the floor for a few minutes, so just give yourself a second to rejig the blood to your head. We're going to remove the band now. You'll be very, very glad to hear. Just step yourself out of that band. Now, in Pilates, I'll never ever ask you just to stand up. We'll always roll up, okay? Especially if we've been on the floor for a while. So if you'd like to just swing yourself back onto all fours. That's it. Okay, so back on all fours and making sure that you're nice and aligned with your hands and your knees feeling equal. So we're going to bring ourselves all the way up to a nice little cat stretch. Drop your head. Create a little arch. Sink yourself through to the center. Lift your tailbone, lift your head, drop your belly button. Relax those shoulders. Sink your middle back, basically, all the way through to center, all the way up. Create that little arch. Belly button feels like it's coming up to your spine. Through to center and release. If you ever got any backache or just tired back, this is a really, really good one. Bring it back to center. Okay, tucking your toes under. I want you to rock back onto your toes. We're just resting onto our toes, hands on the floor. Okay, we're going to try this a couple of times. This can be a bit cracky on your knees. So if you have got crackly knees, you will hear this because your ears are going to be right by your knees. It's not the best noise, but as long as it doesn't hurt. So head down, right onto your knees. And then we're going to lift our bum up and our head stays down. Off you go. Yes. And the headpiece is right by my ear as well. Obviously, you may have heard that. Apologies. So if your hands remain on the floor, fantastic. If they're not, that doesn't matter. We're going to bend our knees again. Put your hands back down onto the floor, bending your knees. Okay, and head down, bum up. Keep your hands on the floor as long as they possibly can. Feel that stretch. And we're bending our knees again. So we'll do that one more time. So head down, bum up, hands onto the floor. Hold them there. That's it. And release your hands off of the floor if they are. Very, very, very slowly rolling up. Stack your vertebrae one by one, like little Lego bricks. All the way up, head last. Deep breath in, arms up. And relax and breathe out. Wonderful. And we're going to end our session as we always end with some little sweeps. So I'm just going to slightly change the angle. So feet hip width apart. And then we're going to sweep our arms down, all the way down. And up, come onto your toes. Squeeze your bum, come onto your toes if you can. Lift, nice and tall. And back down. Let's do 2 more. For those of you who are experienced, you can close your eyes if you'd like to dare. Hop, much harder. And 1 more. Down, deep breath in, all the way up, nice and tall. Squeeze and lift, and down we come. Excellent.
Very, very well done, everyone. Very, very good work. Let me just take you all off mute. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. You're absolutely welcome. Oh, right. So, how were the bands? How's your band, Steve?
Yeah, no, they were good. They were good. The lightest was good enough for
Good
the
for
arm.
that one. Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit weak for the legs. I think my legs are
Perfect. Right. Well, luckily you've got the ones to swap out, so you grab the ones that you need to, but definitely your legs are strong enough to cope with the bigger one. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, they're good.
Very good. Vanessa and Fiona, my darlings, I'm sorry I missed you saying hi, but I hope you're okay.
No, don't worry at all. I've just been rushed off my feet with work.
Oh God, really? Oh
That's
no.
why we logged on a bit late. Apologies.
That's all right, my darling. As long as you were here. Hello.
It's not, but you see, these things come in quite handy at times.
You got them. You got them.
I went green. Oh, that's vicious after a while.
Yeah, I was green as well. It's like, oh God.
Especially when you're doing that one and that one.
Oh yeah, no, no, I don't do the red green. I think I'll pull my shoulder out. But excellent, well done, girls, well done. And young Mrs. Joe, how was that, my darling? Oh, is she gone?
She's on mute.
Oh, have we lost you?
No,
That's not a good sign, is it?
No, I'm very much here. I'm still on mute.
Oh, okay,
so all
darling.
good.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully that was hard, but not impossible. Pretty much everyone else that's been doing this has been doing this for a very long time with me, so they know what they're doing by now. Ursula is becoming absolute whiz. Didn't take her long, but Joe, do bear with it, Joe. Hopefully, you'll be happy to join in future weeks. But
Yeah,
I'd absolutely love to see you. If you do want a band and you're like, oh no, that would be really, really great, I can just pop one down if you want me to. No problem.
Or just pop me a link. If you've got a link to where you buy them from, just pop me a link of the spec and I'll get it sorted.
Yep, fantastic. I've got a few links, so whichever one. Basically, some of them are not available at the moment because obviously there's a rush on them, but you should be able to get something. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Absolutely, as always.
Thanks, Rebecca.